The Young and the Restless spoilers, Jack and Diane plot against Victor. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, and Diane Abbott, Susan Walters, will plot against Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, even after joining forces with him to take down Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. Will Jack finally get the best of Victor? Jack Abbott suggested this partnership. Jack suggested this partnership to keep Kane from taking over either Jabot or Newman Enterprises. However, Kane wants Chancellor Enterprises as well. Jack doesn't want Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, to lose Chancellor. Jack will do anything to help Nikki, but Victor, not so much. Victor doesn't deserve Jack's support. Jack knows that Victor will turn on him in a heartbeat. Victor has already asked Kane to go after Jabot for him before so they could be partners. However, it seems that Kane isn't about to do what he was asked. Kane has plans to take down as well, and Jack believes only a united front will win Kane at his own game. Diane Abbott suggests idea to Jack Abbott. Diane is not happy with Jack's idea of working with Victor. Diane believed Jack was crazy to come up with this plan. However, if they are going to do this, Diane wants to make sure that they get what they need out of it. Diane wants to prove to Victor that he has no right to look down on Jack the way he does. Victor truly needs Jack to get the best of him just once. Nikki isn't happy with Victor's plan to turn on Jack once this is over. Nikki also prefers that Jill not be involved either. Victor does not want to hear Nikki's defense of Jack. Victor plans on showing Jack just who the better man is, and he is convinced that will never be Jack. Can Jack Abbott turn the tables on Victor Newman? Jack plans to show Victor that he is not as powerful as he would like to think. Victor believes that Jack didn't work for his money, that he doesn't deserve it. Victor has always felt that same about Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, as well. Jack knows that Billy is not going to get his head together until Victor is put in his place. Is Jack in this for Billy as well? Jack and Diane may actually be able to pull this off if they put their heads together. Will Victor finally become a victim of his own game? Is this the time that Victor has overestimated his power? Could Jack finally pull off something that his father would have done and finally put Victor in his place once and for all? The Young and the Restless, Jack and Diane's shocking plot against Victor. Will the Newman Titan finally fall? In Genoa City, nothing is ever as it seems, and the latest storm brewing could shake the very foundation of the Newman-Abbott rivalry. For decades, Victor Newman has reigned supreme, always finding a way to come out on top, no matter how many enemies line up against him. But this time, whispers are growing louder, and fans are buzzing about the possibility that Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott might be hatching a scheme so daring that even the great Victor Newman might find himself vulnerable. Could this be the moment when the titan of business, power, and manipulation finally faces a downfall unlike any he has ever encountered? Spoilers hint that Jack and Diane's next move could change the balance of power in Genoa City forever. Jack Abbott has always carried a complicated relationship with Victor Newman. They've traded victories, betrayals, and bitter feuds for decades. At times they've had an uneasy truce, and in rare moments, even displayed mutual respect. But deep down, the rivalry burns eternal. Jack has never forgiven Victor for meddling in his life, undermining Jabot, and dragging the Abbott family name through the mud whenever it served him. Fans know that when Jack feels pushed to the edge, he can become just as ruthless as his adversary. And now, with Diane firmly by his side, Jack might have the perfect partner in crime to pull off something audacious. Diane's return to Genoa City shocked everyone. Once thought dead, she emerged from the shadows with a story of survival and redemption. Though many doubted her intentions, she managed to win back Jack's heart and reclaim her place in his life. But Diane has always been a woman of secrets, a master manipulator who can read a room and strike when no one expects it. She's reinvented herself as a devoted wife and mother, but longtime Y&R fans know that Diane is always calculating, always watching, and always ready to play her next card. Could it be that she sees in Jack's vendetta against Victor the perfect opportunity to secure not just love, but lasting power in Genoa City? Spoilers suggest that Diane might be the one planting seeds of strategy, convincing Jack that the time has come to stop waiting for Victor's next attack and instead take the fight directly to him. After all, Victor is not without weakness. His health has been questioned in the past, his children often resist his control, and his empire has cracks that only a careful schemer could exploit. With Jack's business knowledge and Diane's cunning, the Abbotts might finally have the upper hand. Of course, this is Genoa City, and no plot against Victor Newman is ever simple. He has eyes and ears everywhere, and he thrives on confrontation. Every time an enemy thought they had Victor cornered, he's risen like a phoenix from the ashes, stronger than ever. But perhaps this time, the danger lies not in brute force, but in the subtlety of Jack and Diane's approach. Could they manipulate the business world, plant misinformation, or use Victor's own family against him? Imagine the shockwaves if Adam, Nick, or Victoria were dragged into the chaos, intentionally or not. Jack's family is also at stake. Kyle Abbott, already struggling with his personal relationships and loyalty to the Abbott name, could be drawn into this dangerous scheme. If Jack and Diane make bold moves, Kyle may be forced to choose between loyalty to his father and his own moral compass. Meanwhile, Ashley Abbott, never shy about calling out Diane's influence, could sound the alarm that Jack is being pulled into a dangerous trap. The Abbott siblings may once again find themselves divided, even as Jack believes he's finally gaining ground against his lifelong nemesis. For Diane, the stakes are just as high. She's worked hard to repair her image and rebuild her life, but if this plot backfires, she could lose everything: Jack's trust, Kyle's acceptance, and any shred of respect she's earned from Genoa City residents. Still, Diane has never been one to play it safe. For her, aligning with Jack in a bold strike against Victor could secure her position as the woman who finally stood beside Jack Abbott and did the impossible, toppled Victor Newman. But will fans truly see Victor defeated? The Young and the Restless thrives on its legendary rivalries, and Victor has always been at the center of the storm. Yet longtime viewers also crave the thrill of seeing the mighty shaken. Even if Victor ultimately regains his power, a shocking temporary fall could electrify the show, creating ripple effects across every storyline. Imagine Newman Enterprises in chaos, with Victoria scrambling to maintain control, Nick caught in the middle, and Adam sensing an opportunity to grab power. Meanwhile, Jabot's rise could bring fresh storylines for Summer, Kyle, and the entire Abbott clan. What makes this storyline so compelling is the uncertainty. Jack and Victor have battled for decades, but adding Diane to the mix brings a new flavor of danger. Unlike other rivals, Diane doesn't have the long history of failed plots against Victor. She's unpredictable, and that unpredictability could be exactly what it takes to catch Victor off guard. Still, spoilers caution that Victor always has a backup plan, and when cornered, he becomes more dangerous than ever. If Jack and Diane make one wrong move, the backlash could be catastrophic, not only for them but for the entire Abbott family. The drama ahead promises to test loyalties, ignite family feuds, and perhaps change the course of Genoa City's power struggle forever. Could Jack finally emerge as the man who bested Victor, or will Victor once again crush his rival and remind everyone why he is the unshakable titan of the Young and the Restless? Fans are bracing themselves for explosive confrontations, shocking betrayals, and twists that no one will see coming. One thing is certain: Jack and Diane's shocking plot against Victor has set the stage for one of the most unforgettable chapters in Y&R history. Whether Victor falls or fights back with fury, Genoa City will never be the same. Y&R spoilers: Jack and Diane join forces in a dangerous game. Victor has no idea what's coming. The battle lines in Genoa City are shifting once again, and longtime fans of the Young and the Restless know that whenever Jack Abbott and Victor Newman are circling each other, trouble is never far away. For decades, Victor has been the ruthless powerhouse, the man who never hesitates to crush an enemy or even his own family if it means keeping control of Newman Enterprises and protecting his empire. But this time, the winds of change may be blowing in a direction that Victor never expected. Jack Abbott has spent much of his life as Victor's rival, often finding himself a step behind, but spoilers reveal that Jack is no longer fighting alone. At his side is Diane Jenkins Abbott, a woman with just as much fire, cunning, and ambition as Victor himself. Together, Jack and Diane are preparing to play a dangerous game, one that could finally put cracks in Victor's seemingly indestructible armor. And the most shocking part? Victor has no idea what's coming. Jack Abbott has always been a man of integrity, a businessman who at his core believes in legacy, family, and honor. Yet, when pushed into a corner, Jack has proven that he can be every bit as calculating and ruthless as Victor. He has battled for Jabot countless times, fought against takeovers, and endured humiliations at the hands of the Newman patriarch. The rivalry between Jack and Victor isn't just about business, it's personal, it's emotional, and it's fueled by decades of betrayals and bitter history. This time, however, Jack may have found the one ally who could help him succeed where he's failed before. Diane has returned to Genoa City with a vengeance, determined to rewrite her past and secure her place by Jack's side, and she might just have the right mix of boldness and strategy to take on the great Victor Newman. Diane is no stranger to the high-stakes games of Genoa City. Once presumed dead, she shocked everyone when she returned, weaving her way back into Jack's life. While many doubted her intentions, Diane has proven that she's not only resilient but also capable of outmaneuvering her critics. She has fought tooth and nail to regain Jack's trust, mend her relationship with Kyle, and stake her claim as the matriarch of the Abbott family's next chapter. But Diane has always been more than just a survivor, she is a strategist, someone who knows how to turn weakness into opportunity. Spoilers suggest that Diane has been carefully observing Victor, analyzing his recent moves, and recognizing that now might be the perfect time to strike. Victor Newman may still be the titan of Genoa City, but even titans have their weak spots. His health has been a concern in the past, his relationships with his children are constantly strained, and Newman Enterprises is no stranger to corporate warfare. Victoria and Adam are forever at odds, Nick is often reluctant to get too deeply involved, and Nikki has grown weary of Victor's unrelenting need for control. If Jack and Diane can find the right pressure points, they may be able to destabilize Victor from within, using his fractured family dynamics as leverage. The question is, how far are Jack and Diane willing to go? Spoilers tease that their alliance isn't just about defending Jabot or maintaining balance, it's about going on the offensive. Diane may be pushing Jack to abandon his usual moral restraint and embrace a bolder strategy. This could mean planting misinformation, luring Victor into a trap, or even forming alliances with unexpected players in Genoa City. Imagine the shockwaves if Jack and Diane turn to someone like Adam, who has his own grievances against Victor, or even Phyllis, who thrives in chaos when it benefits her. The possibilities for explosive fallout are endless. But while Jack and Diane's partnership could be powerful, it also comes with risks. Jack has put his faith in Diane, but history has shown that she doesn't always play by the rules. Could she have her own hidden agenda? Is she truly aligning with Jack out of love and loyalty, or does she see him as the perfect vehicle to secure her own power in Genoa City? Fans know that Diane thrives in the gray areas of morality, and if the pressure mounts, she might make a move that even Jack doesn't see coming. This could either seal Victor's fate or lead to disaster for the Abbotts. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of this plot could stretch far beyond the main players. Kyle Abbott has already been struggling with his identity, his loyalties, and his place in the Abbott legacy. If he discovers that his parents are actively plotting against Victor, it could push him into a crisis. Will Kyle support Jack and Diane's strategy, or will he see it as another dangerous gamble that could destroy their family's reputation? And what about Summer? She has her own complex ties to the Newman family, and if she finds herself caught between Jack's war and Victor's wrath, the drama could escalate to a breaking point. Ashley Abbott is another factor that cannot be ignored. She has been skeptical of Diane from the start and has never hesitated to warn Jack when she feels he's being manipulated. If she senses that Diane is leading Jack into a reckless battle with Victor, Ashley may confront her brother in dramatic fashion. But will Jack listen, or will his determination to finally score a victory against Victor blind him to the dangers ahead? The broader Newman family will inevitably be drawn into the storm. Victoria may feel compelled to defend her father's legacy, while Adam could seize the chaos as an opportunity to stake his own claim. Nick, caught as always between family loyalty and his conscience, may struggle with which side to support. And Nikki, ever the voice of reason in Victor's life, may warn him not to underestimate Jack and Diane's alliance. Yet fans know Victor too well. If he senses betrayal or an attack on his empire, he will retaliate with all the force he has, and that could leave Jack and Diane facing consequences they never anticipated. What makes this brewing storyline so thrilling is the uncertainty. For years, fans have wondered if anyone could truly bring down Victor Newman. Time and again, rivals have tried, only to be defeated, humiliated, or destroyed. But Jack and Diane together may present a new kind of threat, one that Victor has not yet encountered. Their combination of Jack's business acumen and Diane's cunning could prove formidable. Still, if Victor catches wind of their plot, the retaliation could be swift and merciless. As Y&R continues to unfold, viewers should brace themselves for corporate warfare, shocking betrayals, and personal vendettas colliding in explosive fashion. Jack and Diane are stepping onto a battlefield where the rules don't matter and where one wrong move could spell disaster. But if they succeed, if they manage to land a blow that truly rattles Victor Newman, it could change the balance of power in Genoa City forever. The Abbott-Newman feud has always been one of the cornerstones of the Young and the Restless, but with Diane now fully in the mix, the game has evolved. Jack isn't just fighting with his own pride and business instincts, he's being influenced by a partner who is willing to take risks that he might never have taken on his own. This could either be the key to victory or the seed of his downfall. For fans, the suspense lies in watching these titans collide, knowing that no matter what happens, the fallout will be unforgettable. Will Jack and Diane's dangerous game finally expose Victor's vulnerabilities, or will the Newman patriarch prove once again that no one can outmaneuver him? One thing is certain, Victor has no idea what's coming, and when the dust settles, Genoa City will never be the same again. The Young and the Restless bombshell, Jack and Diane's secret plan to take down Victor exposed. In Genoa City, secrets never stay buried for long, and when it comes to power, betrayal, and revenge, even the most carefully guarded plots eventually come to light. The Young and the Restless is setting the stage for a bombshell that could shake the city's power structure to its core. Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott have been quietly working behind the scenes, playing a game that no one expected, but the shocking revelation of their secret plan to take down Victor Newman threatens to ignite one of the most explosive battles in soap history. Fans know Victor has survived countless rivalries, betrayals, and takedowns, but this one is different. This one isn't just business, it's personal, and it's coming from a couple whose bond makes them more dangerous than ever. What will happen when Victor discovers that Jack and Diane have been scheming behind his back? And will their plan succeed, or will the great Victor Newman once again crush those who dare to challenge him? Jack Abbott has fought Victor Newman for decades, but despite his best efforts, Victor almost always ends up on top. Jabot has been threatened, the Abbott family has been targeted, and Jack himself has suffered humiliations at Victor's hands. Still, Jack has never stopped trying to prove himself as a worthy adversary. This time, however, he may have gone further than ever before. By aligning with Diane, Jack has stepped into dangerous territory, blurring the line between protecting his family and launching an all-out attack on his oldest rival. For Jack, this plan isn't just about business, it's about legacy, revenge, and finally putting an end to Victor's relentless interference. Diane, meanwhile, has been working tirelessly to re-establish herself in Genoa City. She has fought against suspicion, rebuilt her relationship with Kyle, and proven to Jack that she's not the woman who once faked her death and vanished. But under Diane's polished new image lies the same sharp strategist who knows how to manipulate situations to her advantage. Spoilers suggest that it was Diane who first floated the idea of taking Victor down, convincing Jack that now is the perfect time to strike. Victor is powerful, yes, but he's also vulnerable, his health has been questioned, his family is fractured, and Newman Enterprises has faced recent instability. Diane sees an opening, and she's not afraid to exploit it. The revelation of their plan threatens to set off a firestorm. Imagine Victor's reaction when he learns that Jack and Diane, of all people, have been plotting against him. Victor is a man who prides himself on being 10 steps ahead of everyone, and the idea that two longtime adversaries could outmaneuver him will be seen as a personal insult. Spoilers tease that Victor may not only retaliate in business but also target Jack and Diane where it hurts the most, their family. Could Kyle become collateral damage? Could Victor manipulate Summer into choosing sides? The ripple effects could tear the Abbotts apart even as Victor strengthens his own family ties in the wake of betrayal. What exactly is Jack and Diane's plan? Spoilers remain vague, but speculation runs rampant. Some believe they intend to destabilize Newman Enterprises by leaking sensitive business information or sowing distrust among Victor's children. Others think Diane may have a more personal approach, using her charm and wit to infiltrate Victor's world in ways that Jack cannot. The beauty of their partnership lies in their differences. Jack brings legitimacy, influence, and respectability, while Diane thrives in secrecy, manipulation, and risk-taking. Together, they could create a strategy that strikes Victor from multiple angles, leaving him unprepared for the attack. But plans in Genoa City rarely go off without a hitch. The exposure of their scheme may have already placed them in jeopardy. If Victor gets ahead of their moves, Jack and Diane could find themselves cornered, their reputations destroyed, and their family legacies in ruins. Fans know Victor never forgives and never forgets, and if he feels betrayed, he won't stop until he has exacted revenge. Could this plot be the very thing that drives Jack and Diane apart, testing their love and loyalty in ways they never imagined? The Abbott family is bound to be drawn into the chaos. Ashley has always distrusted Diane and will no doubt use this as proof that she was right all along. If Ashley learns of Jack and Diane's secret plan, she may stage an intervention, warning Jack that he's risking everything for a woman who thrives on dangerous games. Tracy, the eternal voice of reason, may beg Jack to back down, but Jack's obsession with Victor could blind him to the consequences. Meanwhile, Kyle could be caught in the middle of a war he never asked for. If Victor retaliates against Kyle, will Jack and Diane regret dragging him into their vendetta? On the Newman side, the fallout could be equally dramatic. Victoria, fiercely loyal to her father, will likely rally to his defense, determined to protect Newman Enterprises at all costs. Adam, however, may see the chaos as an opportunity to carve out his own position of power, perhaps even aligning with Jack and Diane if it serves his interests. Nick, as always, will be caught in the middle, torn between loyalty to his father and his desire to avoid another destructive family war. And Nikki, long accustomed to Victor's battles, may find herself once again warning him that obsession with revenge could cost them dearly. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the storyline is poised to deliver shocking twists that will keep fans glued to their screens. Will Jack and Diane's plan succeed, or will Victor turn the tables and remind everyone why he remains the unshakable titan of Genoa City? Spoilers promise explosive confrontations, shocking betrayals, and a war that will draw in every corner of the canvas. One of the most tantalizing possibilities is the idea that Diane herself could betray Jack. While she appears committed to their relationship, her history suggests she always keeps a card up her sleeve. If the plan backfires, will Diane throw Jack under the bus to save herself? Or worse, could she secretly be working with Victor, playing Jack in a long con that no one saw coming? Fans love a shocking twist, and nothing would be more jaw-dropping than discovering Diane was manipulating Jack all along. Alternatively, Jack could be the one to pull back at the last moment. Despite his anger at Victor, Jack has always struggled with how far he's willing to go. If he loses faith in Diane's methods or realizes the toll on his family, he may abandon the plan, leaving Diane to face Victor's wrath alone. The emotional fallout could devastate their relationship and fracture the Abbott family for years to come. For Victor, this battle is about more than business, it's about pride, legacy, and proving once again that no one can touch him. If Jack and Diane's plan is truly exposed, fans can expect Victor to retaliate with a ferocity that shakes the entire town. The Young and the Restless has built its legacy on iconic rivalries, and this latest chapter in the Victor-Jack saga may be one of the most explosive yet. No matter how this storyline unfolds, one thing is certain: the revelation of Jack and Diane's secret plan to take down Victor has changed the game forever. The bombshell has been dropped, and the fallout will leave no one untouched. Genoa City is about to experience a war unlike anything it has seen before, and fans wouldn't have it any other way. Jack Abbott suggested this partnership Y&R. In Genoa City, nothing stirs the pot quite like Jack Abbott making a bold move, and spoilers reveal that Jack has just suggested a partnership that could shake the very foundations of the power structure across town. Jack Abbott has been many things over the years: businessman, family patriarch, rival, and romantic, but at his core, he is a man who never stops strategizing. When he feels cornered, he doesn't retreat, he thinks bigger, and this time his suggestion could change everything for the Abbotts, the Newmans, and everyone caught in between. The Young and the Restless thrives on seismic shifts, and Jack's decision to propose a new alliance is poised to create ripple effects that no one saw coming. For decades, Jack has gone head-to-head with Victor Newman, fighting endless battles for power, respect, and control of their respective empires. Sometimes Jack has come out on top, other times Victor has crushed him, but one thing has remained constant: the rivalry never ends. Spoilers now hint that Jack may have decided that the best way to finally get the upper hand is not through a direct assault but through forming the kind of partnership that even Victor couldn't predict. The question is, who exactly did Jack suggest this partnership with? Was it Diane, his wife who has proven herself both ally and risk, or could it be someone even more unexpected, perhaps an enemy of Victor's who would shock Genoa City by aligning with an Abbott? Diane Jenkins Abbott certainly fits into this picture. After all, Diane has been working tirelessly to secure her place beside Jack, convincing him and Kyle that she's changed, that her days of manipulative games are behind her. But Diane has always thrived in dangerous games, and her influence over Jack cannot be denied. Many fans believe it was Diane's whisper in his ear that pushed Jack toward this suggestion in the first place. Diane doesn't just want to be Jack's partner in life, she wants to be his partner in power, and by backing this new alliance, she may finally prove her worth as more than just Jack's redeemed lover. But the danger lies in the fact that partnerships in Genoa City are fragile, and what starts as collaboration can easily turn into betrayal. Others speculate that Jack's suggested partnership could involve Adam Newman. Adam has always been Victor's most complicated child, forever seeking his father's approval while simultaneously resenting him. Jack knows this, and over the years, he's extended a hand to Adam when no one else would. Could Jack be suggesting a partnership that unites the Abbott and Adam Newman against Victor? If so, this would be the kind of move that destabilizes Newman Enterprises from within, using Victor's own son as a weapon in a war he never saw coming. It would be a bold, risky, and potentially explosive alliance that could tear the Newmans apart and give the Abbotts new leverage. But there's another possibility: Jack may have set his sights on Phyllis Summers. Their history is complicated, filled with love, betrayal, and bitter feuds, but Phyllis thrives in chaos, and when she has a score to settle, she doesn't back down. With Phyllis desperate to reclaim her place in Genoa City after her own recent missteps, Jack suggesting a partnership with her could give both of them the strength to launch a campaign against Victor, Diane, or anyone else who stands in their way. The irony of Jack working with both his current wife and his former love in overlapping schemes would not be lost on viewers, and the fallout could destroy more than just business, it could destroy families. The idea of a Jack Abbott partnership also raises alarm bells for the rest of the Abbott family. Ashley Abbott, who has been suspicious of Diane's motives from day one, will no doubt accuse her brother of being manipulated into making reckless decisions. Tracy, the moral compass of the family, may try to talk Jack down, urging him to think of the Abbott legacy rather than short-term victories. Kyle, meanwhile, could find himself torn between his loyalty to his father and his concerns that this partnership may drag him into a dangerous game he wants no part of. The Abbotts are no strangers to infighting, but Jack's latest move could reignite old tensions in new, destructive ways. On the Newman side, the news of this partnership, once it becomes public, will send shockwaves. Victor will immediately go on the defensive, determined to root out and crush any alliance that threatens him. Victoria, fiercely loyal to Newman Enterprises, will see Jack's move as an attack not just on her father but on everything she's worked to protect. Nick may caution against another war but will inevitably be drawn in, and Adam, as always, will be the wild card. Will he side with Jack, proving that his loyalty to Victor has finally snapped, or will he use Jack's suggestion as leverage to claw his way back into Victor's good graces? Either way, Adam will not sit on the sidelines. What makes Jack's suggested partnership so tantalizing is its potential to reshape Genoa City's entire power landscape. Imagine Jabot and Newman Enterprises locked in an all-out war, with alliances shifting, betrayals unfolding, and families caught in the crossfire. Imagine Diane trying to outmaneuver Victor while Ashley tries to save Jack from himself. Imagine Adam betraying both sides in pursuit of his own agenda. The drama is limitless, and spoilers hint that this story is just beginning. The truth is, Jack Abbott suggesting this partnership is more than just a business move, it's a declaration that he is no longer content to play defense. He's going on the offensive, and for the first time in a long while, he has both the partner and the motivation to make bold, dangerous moves. But will this gamble pay off, or will Jack find himself once again crushed under the weight of Victor Newman's vengeance? Fans of The Young and the Restless know one thing for sure: when Jack and Victor are in the same game, the stakes are always sky high, and this time, the fallout could change Genoa City forever. With the secret now out that Jack Abbott suggested this partnership, viewers are bracing for the fireworks. Who will stand by Jack? Who will betray him? And when the dust settles, will this be the moment that finally shifts the balance of power away from Victor, or will Victor once again prove why he is the Titan of Genoa City? The answers promise to deliver some of the most explosive drama Y&R fans have seen in years, and no matter the outcome, Genoa City will never be the same again. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on the rivalry between two of its most legendary titans, Jack Abbott and Victor Newman. Their decades-long feud has defined much of Genoa City's business landscape, shaping the destinies of Jabot Cosmetics and Newman Enterprises. Now, the question being whispered around town is this: can Jack Abbott finally turn the tables on Victor Newman? It's not just a matter of corporate pride anymore. It's about legacy, family, and survival in a city where betrayal lurks around every corner. Jack has been underestimated more times than fans can count, and yet every time Victor thinks he has won, Jack somehow finds a way to rise again. But this time feels different. This time, Jack is not only fueled by years of resentment but also by the desire to protect everything and everyone he holds dear. Victor Newman may be the most feared businessman in Genoa City, but even the most powerful must eventually face consequences, and Jack believes that moment is approaching. For years, Jack and Victor have circled one another like predators, each waiting for the other to slip. Victor has played dirty countless times, from sabotaging Jabot to pulling strings that left Jack questioning his own identity and place in the world. Jack has responded with calculated moves, but he has often been outmaneuvered by Victor's ruthless tactics. Still, Jack is no stranger to reinvention. The man who once battled addiction, heartbreak, and loss has emerged stronger every single time. That resilience may be exactly what gives him the edge he needs in this newest chapter of their war. Jack has a vision, and it includes reclaiming not just control of his company but also his power in the Abbott legacy. What makes this showdown particularly gripping is that Jack has allies now who may be willing to step up in unexpected ways. Diane Jenkins, having clawed her way back into Jack's life, could prove to be both an asset and a liability. Kyle Abbott, torn between loyalty to his father and his own ambitions, may play a crucial role in how the battle unfolds. The question remains, Does Jack truly have the strength to outmaneuver Victor this time, or is he stepping into a trap designed to crush him once and for all? Victor Newman is not a man who takes kindly to being challenged. He thrives on control, manipulation, and striking first before his enemies even realize what's happening. But even Victor has weak points, and Jack knows them better than most. Victor's family, for example, has often been his greatest vulnerability. Time and again, his desire to protect his children has clouded his judgment, leading him to make moves that can be exploited. Jack, with his keen business acumen, understands that destabilizing Victor's world might not come from a hostile corporate takeover but from undermining the very things Victor treasures most. What happens when Jack targets Newman's next big deal, or when he finds an ally in someone within the Newman family who feels overshadowed by Victor's dominance? The cracks in the Newman empire could be Jack's opportunity to turn everything around. Another angle to consider is Jack's evolving moral compass. For years, he has tried to take the high road, often choosing integrity over deceit. But those choices have cost him dearly, while Victor's ruthless methods have kept him on top. Could Jack finally be ready to abandon morality for the sake of victory? If so, the Abbott patriarch may surprise Victor with a ferocity he didn't see coming. Fans have speculated that Jack might be willing to use insider knowledge, legal loopholes, or even strategic manipulation to gain the upper hand. This wouldn't just be business as usual, it would be a game changer. Jack knows that if he wants to take down Victor once and for all, he has to be willing to fight fire with fire. Still, it's impossible to forget that Victor always seems to land on his feet. Even when defeated, he finds a way to rebound, stronger and more determined than ever. Could this attempt by Jack simply set off another round of retaliation that destroys both men? After all, their feud has often left collateral damage in its wake, from broken families to ruined businesses. The Abbotts and the Newmans are intertwined in ways that make their battles both personal and professional, and any move Jack makes will have ripple effects across Genoa City. Nikki Newman, for instance, has grown weary of the endless fighting, but she may be forced to choose sides if Jack escalates his plans. Phyllis Summers, always eager to stir trouble, could insert herself into the chaos. And Ashley Abbott, who has long had her own complicated relationship with both Jack and Victor, might see an opportunity to influence the outcome to her advantage. At the heart of this storyline is a simple truth: Jack Abbott and Victor Newman are two sides of the same coin. They are both brilliant, stubborn, and unyielding in their pursuit of victory. Each has sacrificed relationships, happiness, and peace of mind for the sake of control. But there can only be one winner in this round, and fans are desperate to know whether Jack finally has the upper hand. If he succeeds, it would be a seismic shift in Genoa City, shaking the foundations of power that Victor has held for decades. If he fails, it could mark the end of Jack's reign at Jabot, leaving the Abbott family vulnerable in ways they've never experienced before. Speculation abounds about how far Jack will go. Will he forge an alliance with someone Victor least expects, like Adam Newman, who has long felt like the black sheep of the Newman clan? Could Jack use his bond with Nikki to quietly undermine Victor's confidence? Or will he find a way to weaponize the loyalty of his own family, turning Kyle or even Diane into pawns in his larger scheme? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this chapter so compelling. Jack has never been more determined, but Victor has never been more dangerous. Ultimately, the question of whether Jack Abbott can turn the tables on Victor Newman isn't just about business strategy, it's about who they are at their core. Jack wants respect, stability, and to finally prove that he is not destined to live in Victor's shadow. Victor, on the other hand, refuses to relinquish control, clinging to his empire as though it defines his very existence. Their clash is the embodiment of pride, power, and survival. The battle ahead will not only test their business acumen but also their capacity for loyalty, betrayal, and reinvention. The Young and the Restless thrives on these epic showdowns, and this one has all the makings of a legendary storyline. As Genoa City braces for another Abbott-Newman war, fans will be glued to their screens, waiting to see who emerges victorious. Will Jack finally rise above his nemesis, or will Victor remind everyone why he remains the unstoppable force in town? The only certainty is that nothing will ever be the same once the dust settles.